Chantal Kreviazuk.
So Chantal Kreviazuk has been collecting Juno Awards and nominations ever since her first record came out 15 years ago. But her latest award taps into the part of her where I think she feels most at home. Last week, Chantal and her husband, Rain Maida of Our Lady Peace, were presented with the Alan Slate Humanitarian Spirit Award, which honors their commitment to a number of organizations from War Child Canada to the Canadian Mental Health Association, which is a cause close to Chantal's heart, in part because of her brother's struggle with mental illness.
There's a self-awareness that perpetuates stigma that is so horrible. You know you've humiliated yourself. You know you've hurt people.
Back in 2006, she wrote and starred in a short film called Pretty Broken about a person with bipolar disorder.
Oh my gosh. What? What's wrong? What's the matter? What's the matter? Can't you laugh with me now?
The goal of the film and her work with CMHA is to break the stigma around mental illness. And when Chantal gets behind something, she's not shy about getting others on board. There we are, on the shores of Hudson Bay in 2010, learning about how climate change has affected the polar bear. For Chantal, who recently discovered her First Nations heritage, trekking around Churchill took on special significance. She's been exploring new territory in her music too, having co-written songs for the likes of Kelly Clarkson and Gwen Stefani. She's teamed up with another Slate Award winner, none other than Drizzy himself. She's got a new record and a concert film of her own, both called In This Life.
Please welcome our friend Chantal Kreviazuk.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Welcome.
Whew.
What's happening?
Lots of good stuff.
Before we go anywhere, because there's lots to talk about with you, tell me, you're on the Drake record, the new Drake record?
Yes.
That's amazing.
It is. It's really exciting.
How's this happening?
I don't know, but I love the song, and it's beautiful, and it's been a very exciting project. It's actually the first song, I think, that it's the first song that they recorded for the album. So it appropriately ended up being the first song on the album. And it's called Over My Dead Body.
Which is an amazing
because
song
I
for
love
you.
writing dark, depressing songs, apparently. And I think outside of the experience of making the song and working with Drake, who is a phenomenal artist, and 40, his producer, is an absolutely brilliant, brilliant individual. It was a really cool experience, but I love the song. You know, so I just can't wait to sing the song. So Drake, if you're watching, I want to sing the song with you somewhere.
You and Rain got the Slate Humanitarian Award, right? You got this award. I mean, just talk about what that's like for you. I mean, I know you've been very vocal and very active in more than just music for a long time. Like, did you ever struggle with the idea of putting yourself out there in that way? I know a lot of musicians, they just want to be musicians in some respect.
Yeah, I don't. I love making music. I love performing. I love going into that meditational place of performing. I love feeling like people leave the show and they had a great time and they feel transformed. I love making people feel great. I love making people not feel alone through music. But in actual fact, the place I feel most comfortable is being with people who are sort of being pushed to the side, you know, people who don't get a chance. And I think I just feel that in this kind of career, for me, there's a lot of self-promotion, and, you know, like your entire day hinges on if you've moved ahead as an individual. And I don't know, it's weird, you know, you have to be a part of that in order to be an artist, and you put yourself out there. But I also reject it on a lot of levels, and I feel a little bit more aligned with the idea of service.
What do you mean heal for life?
Well, I don't know about anybody else, but did people here go through grade 8? I mean, it was horrible, and I feel like I've been in recovery ever since. So.
Was it that bad?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think growing up in Winnipeg, I mean, it's an amazing place filled with very strong people. I don't know if I was that strong, you know. They're faced with adversity when they wake up and go outside in the morning for 6 months of the year. I mean, it's a very beautiful and dramatic place. It's a place of extremes, and I don't know, I've seen a lot of things in life and I take them to heart. I've experienced a lot of sad things and I see the beauty and joy of life, but I also definitely, I mean, I think that you're not human if you don't see the sadness in the world. And so even if it's not my own personal sadness, I feel other people's sadness a lot. I take it to heart. And so I think that maybe it traumatizes me. I can't just I can't watch, like Rain will watch what is the fighting you guys love? The UFC fighting? Okay,
yeah.
He'll try and watch it before sleep, and I'm like, can you turn that off? I can't go to sleep after that. Or, you know, I don't know why it is, but always the like horror film or some like crazy dark film is on just before bed, and I'm like, I can't sleep now. And we'll be watching a movie, I'm so scared, and he'll say, honey, it's not real. Like, he has to remind me. I'm like a child. I just take it inside of my person, and it's very hard for me to just dismiss, you know. So. I think that it's almost like, you know, I have my little process and my filter, and it hurts me, all of it. It's heavy. There's so much heaviness out there. And yet I seek it out. I want to know it. I do want to process it. There's something else going on there, so I don't know what that is.
Do you ever have moments in your life where you just try to avoid it and run away?
Yeah, my favorite movie's Bridesmaids. Why do you think my favorite movie's Bridesmaids? You know, it's like The Big Lebowski's a close second, so.
Dude, this is a private residence. Right? I love that movie.
Man, and so, you know, I love the relief that comedy presents, and I love enjoying beautiful things. I'm human, you know, like, of course I do. I don't want to just surround myself in darkness, but at the same time, I think that the healing process that, you know, giving reveals is so beautiful. So I love being a part of that.
You've stepped out and worked with a bunch of different groups. Let's play something from your time in Churchill, Manitoba. We've got, this is...
What, the environment or right now here?
Right here, yeah.
You have a bear up ahead here, a couple hundred meters.
Right there, dude. Look at that. Wow.
Right there. Oh, wow. Great.
It's in Churchill, Manitoba, where you...
Where I feel completely at home and love it.
Yeah, but why polar bears? Why PBI?
Let's see. I mean, it just happened. I was doing an event one evening, and amazing things happened, amazing speeches. All these events are so transforming, and had a wonderful time. It just so happened that, you know, I got to know what PBI is about. They're essentially mitigating the problems in the north via the bear. You know, if the bear is done, we're kind of done. You know, I mean, really, we have to be able to start to parallel our experiences with the other species in our environment. If they're suffering, I mean, we're next, you know. So I became really inspired. My ancestors are from the area. My grandmother's names were Pistisquasish and Methkukumanescu, and they worked that land, they sustained that land. And so when I'm up there, it's very powerful for me to consider that, you know, they walked on those very paths. And I don't know, I just feel like we're so advanced. We've come so far since when they walked that land, and yet we're regressing. And it's like, it's a nice thought that we could bring the youth into considering, you know, the future and how they can make a difference, how we can all make a difference.
Something else that I know, I like hosting events with you and being with you at events, and you've done stuff with...
we need to talk, mental health and addictions.
Yeah, mental health and addictions, right?
Yeah.
Because we've done stuff with the David...
I have exciting news, yeah.
You do? Well, we did this thing at CAMH, which is the Center for Addiction and Mental Health in Toronto. Yeah. But really, it's sort of a representative of people's work with mental health research across the country.
Right.
And you've been a part of that. It's close to your family as well. What's your announcement? This is news to you.
Well, it's not an announcement. It's just really, I'm very excited. I'm coming off of a really neat experience earlier in end of October, beginning of November. My brother was having his, it just all coincided. It was beautiful timing. My brother had his 1-year anniversary of being at a wonderful treatment center called Baldy Hughes up in Prince George, near Prince George in British Columbia. And it's just so incredible. A year ago, there we were, finally, after 25 years of going around and around and around. We were really stuck in the system as a family, and there was a lot of piling on of medications, stopwatch medicating for my brother. And so finally we found this amazing place, and there's only 2 others like it. One of them has been open for 35 years in Italy. Another is in San Francisco, right under the Bay Bridge, believe it or not. And you know, now that my brother's been there for a year, he has so much to offer the guy who's just coming in. I mean, they literally pick people out of, you know, like the trash bins and bring them up and show them love and compassion.
Has it changed over the years working with Rain on the music stuff?
I love the creative process with him. What I love the most, though, is that even when it gets kind of stressful, and I really think we might like be hating each other or something, or hating on each other, when we close the studio door and we, you know, go over to the house, and that's it. We love each other, and everything's cool.
You leave it at work.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. So the new live CD and a documentary, both are called In This Life. I'll be right back. Thank you, Chantal.